What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. It's your boy Payne. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. It's Christmas Eve, guys, and it's a hell of a day. Family time. Even if you don't celebrate, you know, it's always a great time to be around family and enjoy it. So I hope you guys have a very safe Christmas. If you do celebrate, obviously enjoy it with your family. Merry Christmas to you guys, and happy holidays to the rest of you guys who are taking some time off and being with family. I'm going to really quickly do a video here because a lot of you guys have been requesting it. Now, before I start this video, I do want to point out this is by no means, and I mean this, by no means is this optimal at the moment. There's a lot of work to be done, but I'll tell you how to optimize this team and how to make it more efficient and better at guild bosses. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me to make a brand new guild boss guide, so that's what I'm going to do. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and summon here real quick. Hopefully, you know, Christmas is nice to me and I get something cool here. If not, it's all good. We always got New Year's. So the thing with guild boss is as you progress through the game, you're going to be expected, especially from your guild, most likely to keep up to a certain score, right? And a lot of people are going to be either being pushed, you know, to the limit and understanding how gears work. And some people are just going to be, you know, willy-nilly autoing it. So I'm going to show you guys the best setup you can do with free-to-play account, for at least for my account, and then what I would change on my account and what I plan to do in the future, because right now I just don't have the resources. I'm broke. You guys can see I've got like 400 and something K gold. So I'm super broke. So I've got a lot of work to do, but I'll show you guys my setup. Here's my setup right now, okay? So I've got the following. So I've got SJW, we've got ourselves Thomas, Akari, and it's only an A1 Akari, by the way, and Gunhee. We have ourselves Hansi Me over here with only a A1 weapon, which obviously you want to push as much as you can to get more damage out of it. We have Mireille, and we have Ana Ruiz, and then here we have Cha, Libora, and we have ourselves Meilin. Now, a couple things to note. If you don't have Akari, that's fine. You can put Meilin into this team right here in the first team and make it a little bit more optimal, especially if you have her weapon. Now, I only have an A2 Meilin. You guys can see this. SJW wise, you want to actually have two weapons here. Okay, that's important. You want to push, where is it here? Moonshadow Daggers, and you want to put in the Grimoire, especially if you're going to play the support version. Now, I don't have legendary slashes or legendary magnifying slashes, so I don't have the ability to do a DPS version of him. That's where most of the damage comes from. So you want to make sure you have these two weapons here. You want to make sure all of your stats here go into intellect, so you want to put as much cooldown as you possibly can, so everything gets pushed to intellect. And then you want to make sure that you have the following two skills attached here. The first one is going to be Armor Break, Vacuum Wave, Heroic one, Legendary one, whichever one you have. Either way, you want that to be there. And the second one is you want this Ascension Break one over here. So those two are going to be your major ones. Now, the reason why is because you're going to actually be rocking a support SJW, so you want all of this to be Blessing. So you want AP's Blessing. The reason why this is important, especially for that Ascension Break one, is because your skills, when you, your passives from Blessing set is going to be needed for you to cast ultimates as much as you possibly can, because there's no supports, there's no tagging in and out, etc., right? And what does Blessing do? Well, AP's Blessing here activates when tagging out using a support skill or using an ultimate skill. This increases the user's damage dealt by 20% and restores 0.2% HP. This gives it to the whole team, right? The enhanced Blessing. So this allows your entire team to benefit from this, and this is what makes it so important. You want to keep activating your ultimates as much as you can. So that's why Ascension Break is so important in this fight. Sorry, guys. So that's the SJW setup. So all intellect, all blessing, and then from here you want to have Ascension Break, Vacuum Wave. Here you can put whatever you want, your best skills. Your ultimate, obviously, you want the strongest. And then for your blessing stones, you usually want to have We Are One. You want to have, excuse me, Bloodlust. You want to have Reawakening. If you have the legendary one, it's even better. And then at this point you can have like Swiftness, or if you have Intuit. Now Intuit actually might be better because it'll even lower your cooldown even further, right? So Intuit would probably be a really good option for this one, especially because you can now get a lower cooldown and cast them more often. Okay, so that's your SJW cores. Whatever best cores you have, put them on there. Essentially the best way to do it. Main thing to note about SJW especially is you want to make sure that you keep your MP up, because you're casting skills so often, you're gonna lose your MP a little bit here and there. So it's important that you continuously improve that by doing it more, casting more and more MP, right? Or more and more basic attacks to get your MP back. So very important to do that, guys. Here, let me put in some stuff here. Okay, now in regards to the rest of your heroes, let's talk a little bit here. So Thomas, not optimized. This is all for combat power purposes, not for this content, clearly. So you go 4-piece Curse, 4-piece Obsidian, or 4-piece Warmonger, 4-piece Obsidian, okay? For Akari, you want to go 4-piece Guardian and 4-piece Sylph. for this fight specifically. Again, not optimized. I'm using all blessing here. And then again, this is for combat power for other content. And then Gunhei, you want to go 4-piece Guardian and 4-piece Curse, or you can do full 8-piece Guardian. That one's up to you on that one, okay? Now, Hansimi, again, you want to do Guardian and Sylph for... No, sorry. For Hansimi, you want to do Holy Set and Sylph, because you want that extra attack for Mirai. And then for Mirai, you go Curse and Expert. That's fine. Ana Ruiz here. Shout out to Ryan, by the way. Ryan's the one that was giving me all of that information. Ana, you want Guardian and Greed for the break and the extra damage bonus from the shield. For Cha, it's fine. Greed and Expert is perfect. And then for Libora, you want to go with Guardian and Expert. You guys can see here it's completely off. I have Curse and Sylph. And then for Meilin, you want to also go Angel and White with Sylph. All right, so those are the big... You guys can see here, because I don't possess any of this, it's going to lower my score a little bit in regards to how I'm going to do. Now, in terms of battles, you guys can see here my ranking is not that great. I'm only at 7.2. I just did one try and then I left because obviously my kids were home. But here's how it worked out: 3.579, 3.644. I could definitely push this much higher, and you guys can see my best damage dealers are always Thomas, Mirai, and Cha. And then you guys can see the difference between them, right? Like even my Akari is really low. She's only A1, of course, and my Libra is fairly low, so you want to definitely make her more support. And Gunhei could definitely be a little bit higher. He's always close to Cha, but not close enough, right? So you guys can see right there, it's always the same 3, with the 4th one always being the same as well. And then from there, you move up a little bit. So a lot of this is going to be based on 2 things. Number 1, the survivability of your units, right? So having people survive. So it's important to make sure that you just don't slap on any gear and you don't level them up. It's important, of course, to make sure your gear is leveled up. People have HP, defense, because as soon as the rage count goes up, you're going to get hit harder and you're going to die. So it's going to be a lot of resets happening if that's the case. And number 2, of course, RNG. RNG plays a big factor based on, your boss's movements, based on whether you miss some skills or your rotation is off. All that's going to play a factor in your score. And then lastly, let's say a third one here, you controlling the autos. Now, I haven't had a chance to manually do my autos for quite some time because I've been so busy, but whenever you manually control Team 1's autos, you end up usually doing better because you control when the autos happen. For example, doing it during Moon Shadows, doing it during the vacuum wave, as well as the erosion, right? Controlling that auto when that stuff happens, you maximize the amount of damage you do. So all very, very important things to keep in mind. So that's the team setup that I currently have going right now. Now here's the problem. The only thing is I can't actually do a full fight with you guys with the normal setup that I do, just because I'm literally broke. I have no gold left, so it's gonna right now. There's no free. I don't think there's no free. But let's just go with DPS so I can at least show you rotations and how things work, right? So keep in mind, normally SJW's full INT here. He would have the full on blessing set on as well too. So all that matters. So start off with your erosion, right? Grimoire. Go into your vacuum wave, right into your shadow step. And then here, Moon Shadow Daggers, and then just continuously do some damage here. You can use some QTEs if you want to, by the way. It doesn't hurt here. Just make sure you keep your debuffs up. That's the main thing. And your Shadow Step is so important. Now remember, Reap doesn't work anymore. So those people who are used to using Reap to double Shadow Step, that no longer works. So your scores won't be manipulated by that anymore. So just keep that in mind. There you go, Shadow Step. Now it's very important, obviously, to make sure, like I said, everybody stays alive, right? We'll do an alt here. Normally you want to alt when Moon Shadow's up, when your vacuum wave is up, etc. Now this would normally do a lot more damage, or so will help your units do a lot more damage. I mean, because you would have the ability right now to buff everybody with SJW, but because we don't have that and we're doing DPS spec, you're not going to see that same effect, right? So again, very important to make sure you maintain all your debuffs up. Remember, dashing cancels out debuffs or skills, so you can get out and do like other skills real quick, and that's important. You do have to take advantage of that as much as you can. Okay. Okay, we almost have our ultimate up, and you guys can see here right now, because of right there. I should have waited till Moon Shadow Daggers again. That's okay though. Again, I'm just showing you guys the rotation. You ideally want to use your Moon Shadow Daggers in sync with your ultimate. And this phase, I like to go in front of him when he's doing this little cast, and then try to get a shadow step in. Sometimes it doesn't work because of slowdowns, but it's okay. He's gonna go for a break right now, or soon at least. Okay, there it is. Again, normally I'd be much higher in this phase, like, or in this run. My score would be much higher at this point. But it is what it is. Again, just showing you guys setup, right, more than anything else. And everyone's alive right now, so this is a good team to keep everybody alive, which I really do like. Moon Shadow Daggers into this, into cancel out, into all. Now, if you see all three of those things connect, Moon Shadow Daggers, Vacuum Wave, and the ult does a lot more damage, like way more damage, right? So you guys can see right now. Now, if this ends up working out for me, I might just not even, you know, like, I do need the better sets for sure. That is no doubt about it. And finish. See right there? That's what I mean by RNG timing. I shouldn't have done Moon Shadow Daggers there. That canceled the entire lunar effect, right? Instead, I have to connect with the last hit. So Hansimi died there, but it's okay. We only got a few seconds left. But yeah, you guys can see right there, like, look at the difference in score, right? Like, I can already tell you with my INT setup, I'm definitely scoring way higher. Like, it's already a pretty big difference, you can tell. And if you have the proper sets, like on the squad that I told you about, you would even do more. And look at the MP, right? So there you guys go. Like, this is a really bad score, to be honest. But again, I'm not set up properly for SJW. So this actually would have been a pretty decent score if I had the proper INT build and the proper Blessing build. But again, not very good. But you guys can see, again, the same three, but everyone else kind of suffered a little bit there. So 3-2-5-6 versus 3-6-8-8, right? There's a pretty big difference, about a 400k difference with the proper setup, and not only Rage 9 versus what I normally get, which is Rage 10 and above. I've hit Rage 11, I think, maybe twice, and that's with retrying and having optimal runs. I think I can even do more, to be honest. But again, you guys can see here, the record shows Rage 10, Rage 10, right? And this, again, was just a few bad runs. I had a few deaths here, but unfortunately, I just didn't have any time to finish it up. But that's the rotation. That's what you want to do, and hopefully this guide will help some of you guys use it. Now, if you don't have Choi, like, ideally, I'd rather use Choi over Ana Ruiz, but I don't have a good Choi. Like, I have an A5 Choi, but the problem is my Choi's weapon is only A1, while Ana Ruiz's weapon I can push to A8, so it was much easier to get that. So there you guys go. Hope this helps out. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Again, I can definitely up the score. I'm going to try to get the proper sets for my units, and then try to do another guide in the future where we can see the difference between proper setup and just mediocre setup. But again, I did want to show you guys what you should be doing. And again, shout out to Ryan for the sets that he recommended. I think they're the right ones, because he's my go-to guild boss guy, and I just don't have the resources at the moment to complete them. All right, guys, Merry Christmas again. Happy holidays to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.